Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is CeeChronicles. If you're new on this channel, I post fragrance related content and would very much appreciate it if you did decide to come on board by subscribing. To those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Now welcome to today's video. I have with me here Shaghaf Oud Tonka, the fragrance that was very hard for me to get my hands on, but we finally have it. I actually bought this fragrance and this is the one that was delivered, and I had to kind of live with the fact that this is the one that was delivered, but this is actually the fragrance that I had been waiting for the longest time. So I'm going to spray this fragrance on my arm here and tell you my quick thoughts. I have given it a very good test run, and it is one of those fragrances that Offset, I'm going to say, I love. This fragrance is built around almond and some cinnamon, and it also has, of course, the Tonka. That is what you expect in this fragrance. It also has the inclusion of a Tunisian orange blossom, Turkish rose, the vanilla, as well as the amberwood. What I can say about this fragrance, guys, is Offset, the juice in itself is very warm and cozy. It is built around a safe, spicy, nutty accord or nutty tone, right? So the DNA is going to have that almond pop in the opening there. However, it is guarded. It comes across as a fragrance that is doing or presenting itself in very guarded doses there in the opening. It's also one of those fragrances that you are going to enjoy mostly in the dry down, right? Now, I do know that we do wear fragrances for the dry down, but why I'm saying this is it's one of those that if you went into a store and you sprayed it Offset there, you might find yourself, you know, having been slapped by a fragrance that has a synthetic tone, a latexy type of tone, but it's a fragrance that then starts to open up. It rises to the surface there. 30-45 minutes in, that is where it then brings somewhat of a bitter, like an evidently bitter almond that holds on till the end. Also a touch of a fruitiness that you're going to get in this fragrance. So why I'm just giving this brief explanation is it's one of those that if you went into the store and you're testing fragrances and you just sprayed this one on a tester paper on yourself, especially on a tester paper, let me say, and then you left the tester paper there, you might, you know, not think much of it. But it is a fragrance with a presence. It is a fragrance that if you can live past that synthetic opening, something that feels a little bit rubbery there, something that feels a little bit latexy, and allow it to do its thing, it's going to open its pages. Now, right? So the Oud Tonka, as the name of this fragrance, is quite intimidating because the Tonka that you're going to get here, guys, is a warm, even vanillin kind of sweet Tonka. And the fact that there is a vanilla as a standalone note there makes this one a sweet, you know, a wrap up of a fragrance, unlike in some cases, or mental shortcut, what I thought it was going to be like a tobacco-y, even spicy type of Tonka there, that is even pushy. That is not the sort of Tonka you're going to get from this. You're going to get a warm, inviting Tonka in this fragrance, working, of course, with that almond and a sweet wrap up in the mix. And the almond, as I said, is going to be giving off like wafts of a bitter tone during the entire wear of this fragrance. And the oud, part of it, I think, is the fact that this range comes most especially in this Shaghaf Oud this, Shaghaf Oud that, Shaghaf Oud this, not necessarily to expect an oud in this particular fragrance. There is, I think, ambergris and some woods in this, but it's not at all a fragrance that you can maybe say dismiss based on the name. And now to bring it closer to home, this DNA does not feel Middle Eastern to my nose. It rather comes across as a crowd pleasing, something along the lines of what you would expect from a Western fragrance. The spices are in check, that Tonka is in check, the woods are in check, and then to top it off, it has that smooth wrap up that comes as a staple in the Swiss Arabian fragrances. Now, if you have used, say for instance, Shaghaf Oud, you have used this particular one, I keep referring to it because it's right next to me. If you have used this or the other Shaghafs, you will know that there is like a traditional presentation of how the Swiss Arabian juice is built up. If you you're familiar with the Swiss Arabian juice, that it does have like a smooth roundup to it, which is a staple in that Swiss Arabian line, and it makes most of their fragrances not screechy. It makes most of their DNAs or the juices that they present on the market, they have that kind of a chord that makes everything within them in sync. So nothing is going to stray from this fragrance. It is a safe enough DNA for both men and women, and it is also very easy on the nose. So it does have that crowd pleasing appeal to it. Does not come across as a complicated scent to my nose. It is also a scent that, say for instance, you can look past that latexy thing. You will find yourself enjoying, as it is alluring and it lingers almost, I would say almost 7-8 hours, even the whole day. It is definitely a fragrance that can transition through all seasons. Very safe, very cozy there, even presenting itself as a little bit timid there, but definitely you're going to enjoy somewhat of a bitter almond tone in this, meaning it's going to have like a nutty nuance to it, but not very prominently nutty, mostly lining with the bitterness of that almond. There is also a listing of cinnamon in here, but it's not doing much. It is just fusing with the rest of the notes that you get there to make a lingering. This is also the sort of fragrance that you can wear unsparingly in terms of say the number of sprays. I may have to come back and change this narrative if this fragrance changes, because we are currently going through a cold spell. If it chokes me out in the heat, I will tell you, but now this conclusion is based off the fact that I'm wearing this fragrance in cold, not freezing weather, but in cool weather. I would say temperatures of about 20 degrees, somewhere thereabout. Nothing is piercing at all in this fragrance, which is something that I noted as being mentioned on the BDK Velvet Tonka, the fragrance in which a lot of people are comparing this one to. Some of them saying how screechy that fragrance is, or piercing, or quite pushy there. Unfortunately, I haven't put my nose to the Velvet Tonka. I do not get a pushy fragrance in this. I get a fragrance that is safe enough, guys, to wear and enjoy, especially if you like your fragrances built around that sweet wrap up of a DNA. And because I do not have Velvet Tonka, I'm going to say the fragrance Velvet Tonka in itself, if it's the one that this one draws its inspiration from, then I can see why it was named Velvet Tonka, because this fragrance, as I said, is warm. So it comes as presented on a very luxe bed, if you will. And that Tonka is a cozy type of Tonka. Nothing pushy, nothing woozy there, nothing too spicy, but safe and easy reach. Gender, as I said, it's unisex. And the other cherry on top is the fact that it is not a DNA that has been played around a gazillion times with before, especially in the clone market. So that's what I can say, guys, about Shaghaf Oud Tonka. A pleasant surprise. I was not expecting a fragrance like this. It is a safe one to buy, as opposed to some of the Swiss Arabian fragrances on the market. There's, like, for instance, the Herbe Pure DNA that they presented, of course, in this Amaali, where it was underwhelming in the sense that it's a washed up DNA. This is something that you definitely need to check out. And if you were looking at the new collection that they're dropping there, and you were wondering whether to go for the turquoise colored one, which is this one, or for the red one, I would certainly recommend this one. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember to turn on post notifications, guys, on this channel, as well as my second channel, CeeChronicles Unscripted. In case you didn't know, I do have a second channel, CeeChronicles Unscripted. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.